Clear release the data and the analysis, the agency cites an unusually high non-response rate of nearly 70%, something far beyond normal trends. It says this creates a risk of biases and weakens the reliability of projections. After reviewing data quality and confidence levels, the agency has decided it is more responsible to hold back numbers rather than putting out potentially misleading estimates. Now to the big numbers coming in from today's Chanakya, which projects a clear edge for the BJP in West Bengal. The vote share projections put BJP at 48% with a margin of error of 3%, while TMC is pegged at 38%. Others are projected at 14%, indicating a significant gap opening up between the top two contenders. Translating votes into seats, the projection gives BJP a commanding 192 seats, well above the majority mark in the 294-member assembly. TMC is projected at 100 seats, with others at just 2, pointing to a potentially decisive mandate if these numbers hold. As the numbers battle heats up, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has gone on the offensive with a strong message to a cadre and a direct attack on BJP. Mamata is signaling both confidence and caution. She is alleging attempts to influence the narrative through money and messaging, while urging her workers to stay vigilant during her counting time. Message is clear. This election is not about numbers but about protecting every single vote till the final count.
আমরা 200-300 পেয়ে যেতে পারি, 226 ক্রস করবো 2026-এ। শেয়ার বাজারে ধস নামবে আসল সত্যিটা বেরোলে। সেই জন্য শেয়ার মার্কেটকে সান্ত্বনা দিতে গিয়ে, এটা আমার কাছে স্পেসিফিক খবর আছে, এইটা করেছে। এবং আমি পরিষ্কার বলছি, 2016-তেও সেম জিনিস হয়েছে, 2021-এও সেম জিনিস হয়েছে। ওরা কিন্তু বারবার করে যা এক্সিস্ট পোল যা দেখিয়েছে, টোটালটাই দেখিয়েছে বিজেপির কথায়। এবং আজকে তো আপনারা জানেন, নিরপেক্ষতা বলে ভারতবর্ষে কিছু নেই, সব একপক্ষ হয়ে গেছে। আমি তাদের বলবো আমাদের কর্মীদের এবং মানুষকে সাথে থাকতে, যাতে কাউন্টিংয়ে সবাই সমানভাবে আজ থেকে পাহারা দেয়। দরকার হলে আমিও আমার এলাকায় পাহারা দিতে নামবো। এবং আমি সব 294টের কেন্দ্রে, 294টা তৃণমূল প্রার্থী, দার্জিলিংয়েও যে 2টো প্রার্থী আছে অনেকদের, আমাদের সাথে জোট আছে, সবাইকে বলবো নিজেরা ক্যান্ডিডেটরা পাহারা দিন। দিনের বেলায় কর্মীদের রাখুন, রাতের বেলায় নিজেরা থাকুন, পাহারা দিন। আমি যদি পাহারা দিতে পারি, আপনারাও পাহারা দিতে পারেন। রাত জাগুন, সকালে এসে অন্য টিমকে হ্যান্ড ওভার করে তবে ঘুমোবেন। তার কারণ এই সময় ওরা ইভিএম মেশিন যখন কাউন্টিং হল থেকে, যখন মানে যেখানে স্টোর করা হয়েছে সেখান থেকে যখন কাউন্টিং হলে নিয়ে যাবে, তখন কিন্তু মেশিন বদলে দেওয়ার সম্ভাবনা ওরা প্ল্যান করেছে। সুতরাং নজর রাখতে হবে যাতে কোনো রকম নেগলিজেন্স না হয়, অবহেলা করবেন না। আর কাউন্টিং এমনভাবে করবেন, এমন যোগ্য লোককে দেবেন লাস্ট অব্দি। আমি যতক্ষণ প্রেস কনফারেন্স করে না বলবো, ততক্ষণ কেউ কাউন্টিং টেবিল ছাড়বেন না। শান্তভাবে, সংযতভাবে থাকুন। ওরা হামলা করলেও আপনারা এক্ষুনি হামলাতে যাবেন না। আমি জানি কালো বেহালাতে অনেক মারধর করেছে, রাতের বেলায় অনেক জায়গায় অত্যাচার করেছে। ভাঙড়ে আমার কর্মীদের যেভাবে পেটানো হয়েছে, রক্তাক্ত করা হয়েছে, এর জবাব ওদের দিতেই হবে আগামী দিন। এর জন্য আমরা ব্যবস্থা করব, আপনাদের আইন হাতে তুলে নেওয়ার দরকার নেই। আর আমি প্রশাসনকেও বলবো, অনেক খেল আপনারা দেখিয়েছেন বিজেপির কথায়, দয়া করে কাউন্টিংয়ে আমাদের ছেলে মেয়েদের গায়ে বা মানুষের গায়ে বা কোনো রাজনৈতিক দলের গায়ে হাত দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করবেন না। অনেক পিটিয়েছেন, আর নয়, অনেক হয়েছে, আর না। বাংলা আপনাদের নয়, বাংলার মামাটি মানুষ বাংলার দখলে। বাংলারা বহিরাগতদের সমর্থন করে না। বিজেপির নিজস্ব এজেন্ট নেই কোনো বুথে। সেই জন্য বিজেপি কি করেছে, সেন্ট্রাল ফোর্সকে কাজে লাগিয়ে ওরা ওদের এজেন্ট হিসেবে কাজ করেছে। বিজেপি যতই ভাবুন, ভেবেই বসে থাকুন, আর যতই অপপ্রচার করুন, মনে রাখবেন জবাব পাবেন 4 তারিখে সন্ধ্যের মধ্যে। অপেক্ষা করুন।
Okay, so why does Bengal matter so much in this political battle? Here's the big picture. West Bengal is more than just another state election. For the BJP, it is an ideological frontier and a chance to expand deeper into the east after Odisha. For regional parties, it is about survival against a national juggernaut. For the opposition, Bengal is a pillar. If that weakens, the national balance shifts. And for Mamata, it is a referendum on governance, identity politics, and her resistance narrative. For Mamata Banerjee, this election is also about protecting 15 years of dominance and managing the next phase of leadership within the party. At the same time, she is battling fatigue on the ground and a strong anti-incumbency push. For the BJP, this is the big prize they have chased for years. After a strong performance in 2021, the focus now is on converting momentum into power. The campaign has leaned heavily on corruption charges and governance questions to make inroads. For the left and Congress, this is an existential fight. Once dominant forces in Bengal, they are now struggling to stay relevant in a sharply polarized contest. They are in the margin. The goal is simple: regain lost ground and re-emerge as a credible third alternative. A quick look at how Bengal has voted in the last two elections, which shows shifting ground reality. In 16, it was one-sided contest with Trinamool Congress sweeping 200 seats. Congress and left had a footprint, while BJP was only beginning to find space. By 21, the script changed dramatically. BJP emerged as the principal challenger with a massive jump in seats and a vote share, while the left and Congress were reduced to zero. Bengal effectively became a bipolar contest, and that brings us to the big question as we head into counting day on May 4th. Can Mamata Banerjee break into North Bengal bastion of BJP, or are we looking at a big BJP sweep which is being predicted by Brijesh?
Well, I think, I mean, if you go
by one of the agencies,
if you go by what today's Chanakya is predicting, I mean, it's an absolute sweep. There's nothing more to be discussed. And most of these pollsters who have predicted, they have more or less gone with BJP having the edge in the Congress and the Trinamool Congress not reaching up to the level where it should have, barring one poll diary, I think, who has given Praja poll, which has given or poll diary, which has given Trinamool a decisive mandate. But I mean, I would be cautious in this because the poll results, or the exit polls, if I may say, have gone horribly wrong when it comes to the state of West Bengal. Last time we have seen what has happened, Access My India, the kind of numbers it had given and the one-sided way it went. After that, I think it will be interesting to exercise caution. But yes, right now as we are sitting here and we are discussing the numbers which are being thrown in. So in this, I mean, going strictly by the numbers which have come up, I think it looks like that, that the BJP seems to have an edge. But this is just going by what the exit polls are showing.
I'm joined by Nirmala Mukherjee, senior journalist, KV Prasad, senior journalist, and Gautam Mukherjee. All senior journalists join me today. Let me straight away go to Gautam first. Gautam, I'm not going to say that decide, which poll is of your liking, but I'll phrase my question like that. Are we looking at a close fight, or are we principally looking at for a big win by any of the two parties in favor, which is BJP and TMC?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think the BJP will get about 155 seats. So it will definitely form the government, and the TMC will get anywhere upwards of 130 seats. As far as running away with the ball, as in the Chanakya, that is possible. That is possible, but it's not what I expect, because there is an entrenched, loyal voter for the TMC. Even though the maladministration, the lack of opportunity, the low growth, I mean, statistically they'll say all sorts of things. And of course, West Bengal is a big state. It sends 42 MPs to parliament, which will go up to maybe 60 after delimitation. It's an important state. Apart from that, it's a border state. I think the SIR has done a lot of good work by taking out 1 crore almost of fake voters and then, of course, all the administrative work that has been done, the CAPF, the pushing the local police to the background, changes in administrators, district magistrates and the like, putting 600, 700 goons in jail, policing the bike bahini. There's been a lot of work done to see that these elections have been carried out with minimum violence. There have been a couple of skirmishes.
I completely agree with you, Gautam. Gautam, I completely agree with you. EC has done a good job. The violence are down. Actually, a lot of people from Kolkata told me when we were having a meeting, he said this was like a sort of an election very differently covered by us. Earlier there would be so much violence, but we would have no time to, send our cameras there, but this time it was a good deal in the sense no violence took place. Mr. Prasad, your opening comments.
Yeah, that's a good sign, the fact that there was no violence and people could come out and exercise their vote without the fear in favor. But there were also reports which are distressing to some effect, because I mean, sitting from Delhi, I can't really be commenting on what actually happened on the ground, except for pursuing reports which emerged from television and newspapers. Of course, it was not all clear, because there were a lot of inconveniences some people do put up. That I'm sure the Election Commission would have taken note of such a thing and in future try and eliminate it, because that took me back to almost around the year 2000 or so, when we had Mr. T.N. Session, postponing repeatedly elections in Bihar, and he kind of, I remember in one particular voter awareness campaign, he literally thumped the desk and said, "Main dekhta hu kaise Bihar mein election karayenge, dekhte hain." So that kind of just reminded me of that kind of a scenario when we saw APCs, armed personnel carriers, on the roads of, I mean, that really, I'm sure that's not festival of democracy, certainly not. I mean, I can understand instilling confidence in people who get perturbed or who get disturbed by violence, but that was, I think, from a distant overplaying of that particular aspect, Karthikeya.
Okay. Let me go across to Nirmala Mukherjee. So, I know you are saying that the BJP will come to power. I'll rephrase my question. What has worked for BJP this time?
So, Mr. Sharma, what Chanakya is showing today, I have been talking about it in your channel for the last 2 days. Because I said when the curve goes up, I have seen it goes up and up. So it could be 200 or near about 200, and Mamata could be 100 minus. Even senior TMC leaders whom I have spoken to, they are so demoralized. And this anti-incumbency factor, it is not a manufactured issue. Mamata himself has proved it by dropping 74 of her sitting MLAs. And BJP, so when she dropped 74 MLAs, and the way what she is doing now, she is trying to say that you'll have to guard the counting machines. So the next step, you very well understand, she'll be putting up the allegation that they are stealing the machines, they have stolen the machines, and they have changed everything. Because there is a moral boosting issue going on within the TMC, as far as I know. Because, I'll tell you, they have given an internal report of 236. That is their internal report, seats. Mamata is saying, you watch her words. I always follow Mamata to understand things in Bengal since she toppled CPL. She's saying, we'll get 226. We can even cross 230. What does it mean actually? It doesn't mean anything. It's a moral boosting drive that is being taken. BJP is a party, as I have studied BJP, has three colors. In South India and in Eastern India, BJP is a cultural party. In Hindi heartland, it is a religious party. And in the Northwest and Kashmir and all these places, it is a political party. So BJP unfolds itself in such different ways, you will understand, you just can't play very easily. In Bengal, they want to build up a Hindu homeland. That is their dream. So here it is a cultural party. And that is the only reason 71% of Hindu votes, they have consolidated. 95% of the Hindu votes have gone in their favor. I am sure about it. And that is the only reason, even after deletion of 58 lakh voters, the total voter margin has gone up by 30 lakhs.
Okay.
In two phases.
Okay.
And these deletions...
No, you have made one very strong point. I have to really elicit a response on this. KV, do you agree with Nirmala?
In regard to what?
He said that the entire Hindu vote is consolidated behind BJP.
Well, see, he's been there on the ground. And as I said, I didn't travel to Bengal for me to make a comment. But as I said, I read reports carefully. I read three takeaways that definitely was there. There was an anti-incumbency. But to add to the factor, dropping ministers is nothing new. I mean, you look at Gujarat polls for the last 20 years. Every time even Lok Sabha polls, the government drops X number of people who have done
That's the
well or not
leitmotif
well.
of Narendra Modi government.
Yeah, yeah, it has been. So that is not a barometer of the way we look at incumbency. And in fact, look at the government. It has worked pro-incumbency in last 3 elections in Lok Sabha. The numbers didn't match up to 400 par in the last Lok Sabha elections. But if you look at the trajectory, they always were pro-incumbency. So this theory of anti-incumbency has been there, and changing faces is because you want to take away the people's angst. As for the consolidation of Hindu votes, well, we'll have to wait when the results come out and when we actually go into the data which provides and the number crunching takes place. I would leave it at that, Karthikeyan.
So, Nirmala says the BJP has got 3: a religious party, cultural party, and a political party, huh?
I would agree with one thing, I personally, if you ask me, I have not been to Bengal, but based on my interaction with our colleagues who are covering the elections in a very, very fantastic fashion, one thing I know for sure, at least personally, I would be wrong, I have no qualms in accepting that on 4th of May, I don't see a very close fight. I don't see a close fight. I see any party which will win will be winning upwards of 180. Any which political party, be it Bharatiya Janata Party or Trinamool Congress, I don't see a close fight. That's for sure. And the second thing is that, yes, we have seen how BJP works. In South India, it's a completely different party. And in Northeast, we have seen the issue which becomes a very huge, polarization issue like beef and all in Uttar Pradesh becomes a completely different gig when it comes to Northeast. So it's like, it's a very pragmatic politics which they follow. And I think almost, the majority of political parties who live to tell the tale, they all follow the same.
Gautam, so as SIR worked for the BJP, it means that the bogus vote is out. A lot of people are saying that SIR might have a counter effect on BJP's prospects because, it created a panic. So I think the polls are suggesting the different story altogether, that perhaps the field has become level playing.
Yes, indeed. There have been multiple issues, as I said earlier, which have made this a safe election for people to vote their minds without fear. And what is remarkable is that Mamata Banerjee and TMC have depended on the poor to win election after election, along with, of course, the goon squad and the intimidation. It is the poor that are going to throw them out. Whether this is going to be a sweep or a very definite
what about women
majority?
voters? What about women voters, Do you think that constituency BJP has been able to breach?
Absolutely. After all, what have they done for the women? Given them 1,500 rupees? Now, even if you're a poor person, 1,500 rupees doesn't go very far. Where are the jobs? Where are the opportunities? Where is the development? Nothing. And they know it. So, and they put up with this parochialism and the propaganda for 15 years. The Bengal electorate is patient, but eventually it takes a government that does not perform and throws it in the dustbin. They did it with the Congress. They did it with the communists. They have now, I think, all except for the counting, done it with TMC. TMC will wipe out as far from government, though I think they'll have a fair presence. When you go down to 130 odd seats from 213, that's enough of a drubbing. But all the power and influence and the dadagiri that has been part of their working style, all that will be totally absent.
Are you saying, okay, you used the word. Nirmal, was there a dadagiri culture?
Oh, absolutely. You do what I say or we will kill you. If not kill you, we will kill your children. This is the kind of absolute terror tactics that has been operated. You can't build a wall in Bengal without the permission of the TMC goons and without paying them and without them providing all the construction material and the contractor. This is total oppression. Plus they come around for
Okay.
all kinds of extortion. And this is life as you know it in Bengal.
Okay. Nirmalo?
Yes, you see, I would rather put it in a very subtle way that it's organized violence, what we witnessed during the left-run regime, and now it is unorganized violence. So if it is the unorganized violence, you really cannot control it. In organized violence, you have a pattern, and you can see it and you can control it. Let me, just to inform Mr. Prasad, is that in 2001, the left front dropped 84 of its sitting MLAs and 8 ministers. And even after that, CPM lost that election. CPM actually lost that election. They got only 143. And since there was a left front combination, so they won the elections to 199. That was their lowest tally. In the next election, they went up to 235. And you see in Bengal, the pattern of voting is always decisive. So when Mamata came to power, she was only 30 and she went up to 183. So that was a 6 times jump. Now, if somebody calculates that BJP can have a 3 times jump after 15 years, I wouldn't be surprised. Why not? Where is the not getting a logic behind?
Okay, very quickly, Brijesh, if this happens, what will be the impact on the opposition politics?
Do you really need me to answer the question? I mean, the opposition would be completely demoralized, and I think, I mean, the BJP would be perhaps the only party with the wherewithal to rule the country. I think the only territory left unconquered will be the state of Kerala.
KV. KV raised his hand. KV now, yeah, he raised his hand.
I just wanted to add to what you said. The opposition was fragmented even in Bengal because you didn't have a unison of any election. The Congress was on its own. The left were on their own. And on the national front, in the national politics, you know, TMC was an outlier. I mean, it was not that they were always caucusing with the Congress and the India Alliance. So was, if you look at Aam Aadmi Party. So there is not, I mean, there was no unison. So the opposition unity will only happen when there is a commonality of interest as they showed up together in the women's reservation rather than the delimitation aspect.
Okay.
Other times they all chart their own way. So I don't see anything changing at that front. Nor have I seen anything post 2024 to suggest there is a grand unity.
Okay, Nirmalo, I've really run short of time. You know, some other time, really run short of time. Thank you all of you for joining me. This is all I had on point 2 for a riveting conversation with all my panelists. You know, who had very different. 2 had the same takes. 2 had different take on what's going to happen in West Bengal. So, do join me tomorrow at the same time from On Point. Thank you and good night.
बेबो का एक ही रूल रोज खाओ अंडे विदाउट भूल
Cause eggs are cool, cool, cool. Yes, eggs are cool, cool, cool. Summer में energy हो जाती है कम. खाओ अंडे, energetic रहो हरदम. Strength और power मिले हर रोज with proteins and minerals का daily dose. Eggs are cool, cool.